Funny enough, after game three, I wanted to make a video praising the Spurs, talking about their young core and talking about how poised they are, highlighting that Stephon Castle three in the fourth quarter when I think the teams combined to go like 1 for 20, 1 for 18 from three or something. But unfortunately, I didn't get around to it. And with the Spurs up 29, I almost started the video. I was considering it. Oh my god, 29 points? Bruh, I might start this video now. I'm in disbelief. I'm in disbelief. And it's very easy to hate on this team. I'd be honest if I said I didn't a little in my group chat. Because they're the young guys who maybe shouldn't be here yet. You saw that in game two when Wemby threw away that pass. And obviously you saw that in this game. It was really difficult to watch. And as someone who doesn't have a dog in this fight, I was rooting for the Spurs, mainly so we could get a longer series and also so I could put out that video, to be honest. But what's even worse than that is bad basketball.
Start to be a little bit bad boy.
And that's how I know how much I love this sport, because I get furious at bad basketball. We're all thinking of the same play. Even though it happened towards the end of the game, I'm going to bring it up first. De'Aaron Fox. Holy shit. I usually try not to cuss, but holy shit, bro. What? What were you thinking? What on earth were you thinking? Oh my god, Wemby just died for that block. You took that layup? Bro, are you stupid? The Spurs got De'Aaron Fox for very little. It was a mind-blowing trade when it happened. Your role was to steady the ship, but also be a co-star for Wemby for the foreseeable future. Maybe not in the complete long run, because you're a little older, the timelines aren't perfect, but he's still entering his prime age. And then they get Dylan Harper, and it becomes even more apparent. You absolutely need to steady the ship. You absolutely need to be the guy who steps up, because these young guys probably aren't going to. And it's now gotten to the point, they're winning these games in spite of him. He's getting outplayed by a rookie and a sophomore. Because for someone who was an all-star this year, which I'm sure a lot of people forgot about, 3 for 13, 4 for 14, 6 for 16. That's actually really weird that those are the exact numbers he's doing. But nevertheless, you were rotting away in Sacramento, and we all felt bad for you. Y'all finally got to the playoffs, and you were awesome in that first round. Awesome. And we still felt bad for you. And the interesting thing about Fox is that the writing was always on the wall, because most people knew that Sacramento traded the wrong point guard when they gave up Hallie. Even in 2022, even before Hallie had really done much, we could just see who the better overall player was. But we still knew how great Fox could be. And now this. It's one thing when your shot isn't falling. He's shooting 37% among these last two series. It's another thing when you're not getting points on the board. He's averaging 12.5 points these last two series. But it's the worst of all. It's the most inexcusable when you're making boneheaded plays. That has to be the worst play I've ever seen. I've never seen something like that. Given the stakes, I've never seen it. Why do players do this? Why do they have this obsession with instant gratification? Bro, just dribble it out. Just get the foul.
Previously on Dragon Ball Z.
Bridges to inbound. Cutting Brunson. Inside.
You hold the basketball, and you're going back home with a tied series. You're going back home doing something that no one, including myself, thought that you were going to do, which is steal two at Madison Square Garden.
Flashback.
It's looking like it's over. I would typically say in this situation, crazier things have happened, but they haven't really.
End of flashback.
It would have been the first finals in history where the first 4 games were won by the road teams. You would have had all the momentum in the world. And instead, you do that. I spoke about it in my last video. Nothing in this league is guaranteed. You could look at it and say, man, the Spurs are already here. They'll be here for years to come. They might not be. What do you think the 2012 Thunder thought when they made the finals with their core 4 being under 24 years old? What do you think the 95 Magic thought when they were being led to the finals by a sophomore and a junior? What do you think the 86 Rockets were feeling when they were led by a sophomore and a junior? All these teams thought that they would be back. I'm sure of it. And none of them were. You cannot blow these opportunities. You cannot blow a 29-point lead. You cannot take a layup when you're up 1 with the shot clock off. You just can't do these things, man. I think a lot of people will say, that shows the importance of experience. The Spurs are too young. And I get it. It seems like they could use a vet. And a vet that actually plays, unlike Plumlee, Olynyk, Biyombo. Even Harrison Barnes, his role has really diminished since last year. It's a lot of responsibility to put on 2 young guys. Like I said, Fox was supposed to alleviate that pressure. He didn't. I mean, the 2012 Thunder had Derek Fisher. Maybe San Antonio could use someone like that. I don't need to tell you guys what you already know, although I'm sure we'll still get the sunglasses edits, but this series is very much over. If this was game one, I would already say it's looking rough. It's very difficult for a young team to bounce back from this. The best I can say is that I do think Wemby has an awesome mentality, and he is going to go down swinging. But when you don't got it, you don't got it. And the Spurs team just doesn't have it. And it wasn't just the Fox layup that just what stood out the most. I mean, he also dribbled it off his foot towards the end of the third quarter. Wemby missed those 2 free throws. They allowed OG to even get that putback, which I didn't even talk about. OG Anunoby. OG is going to be Finals MVP. His efficiency is off the charts. He is such a robotic basketball player. I love his game. I love the way he plays. OG was such a steal. I can't believe how easily the Knicks nabbed him from the Raptors. Isn't it funny that we had Siakam as the Eastern Conference Finals MVP last year, and OG potentially as the Finals MVP this year? Yeesh, Toronto. I know the timeline didn't exactly match up, but y'all could have done a little better on those trades. You know what? I wanted to bring a historical aspect to this video, so that's what I'm going to do. I've sat here thinking about some of the dumbest plays ever, and also the stakes, of course, matter, just to find some way to compare to this De'Aaron one, and I am struggling. Everyone's going to default to the JR play. I don't think they would have scored out of it anyway, but just forgetting the score is so ridiculous and then pretending like that wasn't the case.
No, I seen it. I knew it was tied. It's just I thought we was gonna call timeout because I got the rebound.
Magic Johnson in the 1984 finals, the birth of Tragic Johnson, dribbling out the clock in a tie game.
2 seconds, 1 second, and they don't get it off.
You also had Rashid doubling off of Manu in the 05 finals, leaving Ori wide open. And they always say that the most dangerous person on an inbound play is the inbounder.
Oh, to Ori for 3. Oh, my.
Of course, you had Vlade tipping the ball again to Ori. My God, they really don't trust this guy. You have a very underrated one that not a lot of people know about. In the 06 finals, Wade was at the line. What else is new? And the Mavs had 1 timeout left. These free throws were going to put Miami ahead. Avery Johnson was signaling to his team to call timeout after the second free throw. Josh Howard, however, took it as him saying, call the timeout now.
Oh, no. Oh, Josh Howard. Did he call timeout? Oh, my.
He called their last timeout between Wade's 2 free throws, which then forced Devin Harris into a half-court shot. Dennis Rodman took a very, very bad jumper in the 88 finals. This was a sophomore Dennis Rodman, not that he ever developed the jumper, but that essentially lost on the finals.
And here are the Pistons, down by 3. Rodman takes the jumper. Rodman threw up the jumper quickly. Too quick, should have looked for one of his teammates.
But yeah, those are the ones that immediately came to mind. I'm sure there's so many other ones, and there's definitely been some bad plays, but even after all these examples, I don't think anything can compare to this De'Aaron layup. I truly don't know what he was thinking. He'll never live that one down. Dog. Yo, his forehead is crazy. I'm sorry. Oh my God, Lucy Liu, I love you. This is the greatest game in NBA history. Down.